Well, howdy ho, Stampers. Deb Valder here. I'm back in my studio and I'm ready to show you a really super simple card. This is done with the Wonderland stamp set. It has 6 pieces to it and it's absolutely gorgeous. There's one piece in here that people just really can't figure out what to do with, and that's these little antlers right here. I have a friend who brought me the most gorgeous little piece, and I've had breast cancer, so she knows it meant a lot to me. So thank Barb Stomaransky for making this for me. It just made my day and made me smile. So there's what you can do with that rack that's in this stamp set. Okay, now let me just show you what we're going to do. This is, like I said, a super uber different very simple card. I've done it in 2 different colors, and you can even do it in greens. You can do it in whatever colors you want, but these are the 2 colors I did. Today I'm going to show you how to use the crumb cake to get this look. Very easy. I started off with a base card of a 4 1/4 by 11, and I scored it at 5 1/2. This piece right here is 3 3/4 by 5, and I'm just going to take my crumb cake and sponge around the outside. You don't need a lot of sponging, but it just kind of sets off the crumb cake because I didn't put a layer in between there. So I'm just going to softly sponge, and when you sponge, you pick up your cardstock and you just rub the sides of it, just like this. A little bit of burnishing, you know, where you just kind of smooth it all out. And it just goes really well. So this is just my crumb cake ink onto my crumb cake cardstock with 1/4 of a sponge. You can even do 1/8 of a sponge if you want. And that's all there is to it. Now what I'm going to do is to take I'm not going to put the crumb cake away because I do have to do my little banner here also. So I'm going to take now and show you how I did the background. All I did, let me just grab a scrap sheet of paper. All I did was to take my Night of Navy ink and the stamp from the Wonderland stamp set, and that's the set of trees, and I'm going to ink it up with the Night of Navy ink. And what I'll do is just stamp it, and what I do is line up the side over here. Now you can do this with the clear mount also, depending on where you mount it. I just like to line my wood up with the side over here, full strength. I'm going to lift it up. I'm going to stamp the center of it without re-inking, and that gives it that depth of the trees, so it looks like we have a forest. And then I'm going to ink it up again, full strength, and line this one up with the side over here on the right hand side. So now I have 2 fully inked up stamps and one that was just inked up a little bit, and that's that one right there. Do you see how it gives it that pop, and it gives it that sense of depth right there? All right, let me bring the card back in and show you how I did the little dots that are in the back. I took my white gel pen, and I like to get it started, so I like to do it on a piece of cardstock because it gets it going just enough. If you have some little crusties around here, just take your finger and wipe them off, and then your pen will work really good. So I just literally dotted some snow in here. I could have used the snowflakes that were in the stamp set, but I thought that they would be just a little bit too big for this, so I'm just going to dot my little snowflakes in, and you see how fast this is and how easy. Now gel pens do run out, they do dry out. You want to make sure yours is in good standing. If not, hop on over to my website and buy a new one so that you can take and have a free-flowing white gel pen. And I'm almost done. Okay, you can put a few in here if you'd like, but we're going to snazz that up with, okay Deb, stop. Alright, so now I've got my snowflakes, I've got my my trees stamped in there. We're almost done. I'm going to take and pop this onto my card in just 1 second. I'm going to take and work on my little banner right here. I'm going to ink up my stamp. I'm going to lay it right by the edge of my cardstock, so it's nice and straight. So the cardstock we know is straight because it's lined up on the grid, and this is straight because it's also lined up on the grid. And all I'm going to do is to take and roll this, run it all the way across, lift it up, and it's perfect. I do that all the time with my wood-mounted stamps, and with my clear-mounted stamps. You just have to make sure that they're straight on the blocks, and when you do that, it comes out perfect. I'm going to take my scissors, and I'm going to just put a little tick mark here. That's the center of the cardstock. And then I'm going to bring this one over to the center where I just clipped. And the center from the side to the center on this one. And then you know it's centered perfectly. Let's go do the same thing here. You're going to go right into the center. You're going to bring this one over to, from the edge to the center, and from the edge to the center. All right, and there's our little banner. Now I'm going to take my crumb cake and sponge this again, because I want the edges to stand out from, can you see the card? I want the edges to stand out from the rest of the card. So let's just sponge this. And you want to do that after you do your banner so that you can get into that little banner edge right there. All right, so far so good. We've got everything right to normal. This is a very fast card. If you wanted to mass produce these, it's economically feasible because you're only using 3/4 of a piece of cardstock, and it's just very, very fast. So now what I'm going to do is to take and start putting my card together. We need some dimensionals, and I will put the dimensionals here on the back of my piece, right here. I just always stick one in the middle so it doesn't, and I don't even have to take that off. If you have dimensionals that the insides won't come off, if you just kind of press your finger in the middle like this, it pops up, and it works really, really well. All right, and then we'll add that to our card base. Like I said, this is very, very easy. Add that to our card base. And then what I want to do, this is very important, because I want this to lay flat on here, I'm just going to take and use some mini glue dots to add that to this part right here. So I'll take my mini glue dots and just add those to the back of that. And let's just pop that on there like that. Now, let me just show you what I did to give it some more depth and dimension. I off-centered it a little bit here, so we've got this little line, and then it also hangs off the side over here. It's kind of like a Cape Cod house that has those dormers in it. You know how it just gives it kind of a little bit more depth because it kind of goes in and goes out? Okay, that was a little too much information, but it still is really cool. And now I'm going to add my little embellishment. These are the Winter Wonderland embellishments. And I'm going to use a little mini glue dot for these two. Actually, I like to put two on there because these are pretty heavy and you want to make sure that it sticks. So I'm just going to add 1 and 2, and I'm going to add it over here. Now the very last thing that I like to do is to add my glitter. And I like to do that at the very end because you just know where it's going to go and where it needs it. All right? So I'm going to take my two-way glue pen. I'm going to start it by just kind of getting it down. Okay, now it's started. Now I don't want to slather these up. So what I did was, I just want a hint of glitter. So all I'm doing is literally just going branch by branch. You know, just adding it. And you can always go back and add a little bit more. So I say go err on the side of light and then go back and add more if you need it. Now I am going to add it to the back of these little light ones also. And we're almost done. That's how fast this card is. So if you do it in an assembly line, you can whip off 100 of these in one night. Seriously, they're that fast. And again, if you're going to do these, in an assembly line, you know, you're going to cut all your paper. That'll be one thing that you're going to do, and then you're going to, you know, you can even break it up if you need to. But it really is a very fast card. I just lay this on here because we recycle that glitter. There we go. And that is our card. Now, I did the exact same thing for the white one. You see right here, I did the exact same thing for the white one. I added the glitter. Everything is the same. We just changed the colors. I sponged the outside. Oops, this one might need a little bit of a piece of bling right there. And that's it. It's so easy. Thank you for stopping by my YouTube video. Hop on over to my blog. I've got some very interesting things over there. Take care. Have a great day, and let me know if you have any questions.